Hey guys, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 3 of the Minigame Locked Hardcore Ironman, the series where I get my items and experience from minigames. In the last episode, you saw me unlock the Hallowed Sepulchre, and in this episode, we're going to work on actually unlocking the Hallowed Sepulchre. There's a few skill requirements that I need to actually be able to properly play the minigame. So I'm going to get started on those, and then I'll probably just keep working on other requirements for Song of the Elves. So let's get started on those requirements. So my first requirement that I need to get for the Hallowed Sepulchre is 56 construction to build the bridges to get to the coffins. This should take me around 800 oak planks and 85 contracts, which isn't too bad and should leave me with around 200 oak planks, which are the planks that I plan to use to actually do the Sepulchre. Which means I also need to get mithril nails. Since I'm already getting the smithing level to make mithril grapples, that shouldn't be a problem. I should easily be able to make mithril nails for that, but I'm not quite sure how I want to go about getting 59 smithing just yet. But for now, I just need to do these contracts and get 56 construction. Alright, so I missed it, but there's 56 construction, so I now have the requirement for Hallowed Sepulchre. I do have about 266 oak planks left, so that should be enough for the Sepulchre. And now I need to start working on smithing. I think I'm pretty good for construction for now. I won't need to get any more levels until I go for 70 for Song of the Elves. There's also one other milestone at 64, which will be my best in slot prayer altar, which is actually what I'm waiting for to use these bones on. But yeah, now I need to go get 59 smithing. I've got a couple iron ores, but I've got a lot of mithril and coal right now. So my goal, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get to 50 smithing using iron ore. And I can buy iron ore using the talk gold that I earned from the fight caves. I don't know if I have enough to get to 50, but I do have a lot of steel bars, so I'll try to see if I can get to 50 smithing. If I have enough, then that's great. If I don't, I'm going to have to do some temple trekking to get the coal and iron ore from that. Anyways, once I get 50 smithing, then I just need to make all of these mithril bars at blast furnace, and then I can get 59 smithing, which is what I need for a mithril grapple and mithril nails. So yeah, let's get started on that. So a nice result of the fact that I spent a lot of time at Nightmare Zone leveling up my stats is that I can actually do the difficult routes of temple trekking now, which give a lot better rewards. Normally I would have been getting about 7 iron and 14 coal, but now that I'm getting these red tokens, I can get up to 140 coal and 70 iron, so it's a lot better. And it takes a little bit longer, about 5 to 10 minutes. I think in the long run it's about the same or a little bit faster. It depends on which resource you're going, but for ores it's definitely better. So I now have all of the ores that I need, I believe, if my math was correct, for 50 smithing. So I'm going to make all of these into steel bars, and I haven't decided what I'm going to smith yet, but regardless it's going to be the same XP. And then I'm going to go make a bunch of mithril bars. And I think this might actually be my meta for ores. But yeah, I'm still going to have to do volcanic mine anyways for 70 mining, so I will get a bit of ores from there as well passively. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to go work on smithing now, and then I'm not going to show you guys when I get 50 because I'm just going to make steel and then go right to mithril, so I'll show you guys when I get to 59 smithing. Alright, so I finished all of my smithing and I actually did a bit extra, so I got all the way up to 62. Which means I had enough to make my mithril grapple, just needed to make a mithril bolt with a feather, then add a rope to it. So as you can see, I made 3,000 mithril ores and mithril bars, and I went through all of them. So I've only got 2,000 coal left, that's all I've got left. And I made mostly alkables, but the main thing that I made was the nails. I made like 20,000 mithril nails, or somewhere in here. Anyways, those are going to be my main construction method, because I'm actually going to use all of the rest of my planks not at Mahogany Homes, but at Hallowed Sepulchre on the bridges. But yeah, I realized afterwards that I made a bunch of alkables and I can't sell them anywhere, I can only alch them. So I would have been better off making like javelin heads or something, at least get some XP out of it. But something that's actually kind of interesting out of this is that because I passed 49 smithing, I finally am able to make bullseye lanterns, which means that I can actually do the Tears of Guthix quest to unlock the Tears of Guthix minigame, because if you didn't know, Tears of Guthix is a minigame, which means I now actually have a method to train my lowest skills, which is really, really useful. Right now my lowest skill is cooking, and it's kind of a good one to have low because it's really hard to do early game. Like, it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle until I get to about 40 cooking, and then at that point I've got tons of lobsters, raw lobsters, swordfish in my bank that I can cook. But getting to 40 is going to suck, and most of my other skills are about at that level, so I'm going to start off with Tears of Guthix and start trying to do that every week to catch up my cooking. But yeah, I've got all the smithing levels, and I got my grapple, so now the only thing that I need for Hallowed Sepulchre is 66 thieving, so that's what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to do it at Sorceress's Garden. So I'm going to try the Autumn Garden and see how that goes, and see how long it takes me to get to 66. Alright, so I did finish Tears of Guthix on the way, and it got me 18 cooking. It's pretty tough to get a lot of tiers with only 82 quest points, but we'll definitely start chipping away at it, which is what matters. But yeah, alright, let's go start training some thieving. Alright, so I did about 7 seconds of the Autumn Garden in Sorcerer's Garden. I decided I'm not going to do that, so I'm giving Pyramid Plunder a try. So hopefully this is better than that, and I can just stay here the whole way. Because I do kind of enjoy Pyramid Plunder, and maybe we'll get a Scepter along the way, who knows. Alright, so this is actually pretty good XP so far. I'm getting around 40k XP per hour. The only thing that's a bit slow is that after I run out of food, I have to teleport to the Ferox Enclave and then get all the way back here, which kind of sucks. I've done about 90k XP here so far. I'm pretty close to unlocking a new room. But believe it or not, I literally got a Pharaoh's Scepter. I don't know what the odds of that are. I know I got it really, really lucky because I've only done 90k XP. But yeah, I'm literally, like, I just started here and I've already got a Pharaoh's Scepter. So I can teleport back here, and that's going to save so much time because now I can recharge my my HP super easily with these Rings of Dueling and then get back right away. Yeah, super happy about that. I did not think I would get this, but yeah, the Ironman RNG is popping off. Pharaoh's Scepter at 58 thieving. Wow, can't ask for anything better than that. Alright, so I got 65 thieving at the Pyramid Plunder. It was not too bad, about 50k XP per hour. But actually, now that I hit 65, I unlocked a 120k XP per hour method. And I believe it might even be more than that with the Summer Garden with the one-click method. So I just went up and finished that. So turning in these 16 juices should be enough for 66. There we go, perfect. So that's really good XP. That only took me like just under half an hour. So there we go, level 66. I can now open the chest, the coffins, and Hallowed Sepulchre, which means I believe I have all the requirements that I need to do the Hallowed Sepulchre. The only thing I need is to get a crossbow, which I can just craft one or smith one and fletch one. Not a big deal. It can be any type of crossbow. So without further ado, now I finally have everything I need to do the Hallowed Sepulchre. So it's time to go knock out that second Song of the Elves requirement. Alright, there we go. So we got 62 agility, which means I now have access to the second floor of the Sepulchre. So this should be starting to get a lot faster now. Just to show you guys a little bit of the loot that I've gotten so far. So I've done 37 laps because you only get 1 mark each run. I've gotten a couple of runes, some coins, a bit of bolts, some law runes, which are really nice. And then a couple other random items. So I got a holy symbol, which is actually nice because this is the only place that I can actually obtain holy symbols, and I think I need them for clues. And I also got monk's robe tops, which is actually my best in slot prayer top, I think forever. So that's really nice to get. I can only get that here. But yeah, now that I unlock another floor, the agility XP should start getting a lot faster, and I should start getting a lot of marks. I think the first thing I'm actually going to buy is, I'm thinking the hammer, because I'm failing a lot of these bridges, and if you get the hammer, it's 100%. The grapple might also be good, because the grapple fails a lot, but when I fail the construction, I lose nails. When I fail the grapple, I just lose time. So it's definitely between one of these two. The ring, I'm probably going to get it last, because I'm not worried about making mistakes. And this I can't really use because it's way too hard to get the vampire dust or whatever. And this one I'm not too worried about. We'll see. I haven't done much of them yet. I don't have too many cosmic runes, so if it's a waste of cosmic runes, I might look into getting this one too. But those are pretty much the only things I'm probably going to get, is these 3 things. And then I'll get the ring afterwards if it's the only thing I need. And then I'll probably just put all my points towards sacks so that I can get more items. But yeah, alright, let's go to that second floor and then ride that out until level 70. Alright, and there we go. I've completed 70 agility, which means I now have completed my second requirement for Song of the Elves. This took a couple of days, so it was 243 laps of floor 2 and 287 laps of floor 1. I looted every possible chest I could. So it was about 500 total floors completed, and it was taking me about a minute each. So yeah, about 500 minutes, so give or take 8 hours. Anyways, here's the loot that I got. So you see a lot of coins, a lot of runes, most of them not too crazy, but the cosmic runes, definitely something I was missing. And law runes are always nice. I got a bit of food, which not as much as I thought I would, so I'll have to do more Sepulchre later, because I was planning on using these for Volcanic Mine. 10 Sandfuse serums, which are good. These are going to be what I plan to use in the Inferno. So it's good to start stacking these up now. Some bolts, which don't really mean anything unless I get a rune crossbow from Elite Clues. Because the bow of Ferdinand is going to be better than these anyways. I've got a lot of prayer potions and ranars as well, which is going to be nice. Always love those. White lilies, which don't currently have a use, but I'm saving them just in case they add them to like Herblore one day or something. These, which are actually all best in slot prayer items, which I was pretty happy to get. Couple alkables, and I got all of the tools except for the focus, which doesn't do anything for me for now. So yeah, pretty happy about that. It was actually pretty enjoyable, decent XP. So yeah, I'll definitely be coming back here for more supplies. I mean, this is all pretty good loot, so definitely going to be coming back and unlocking the other floors. But now it's time to move on to the next Song of the Elves requirement, and I'm thinking it's going to be either farming or hunter. Hunter is going to be ridiculously slow. It caps out at like 10 to 12k XP per hour. But it's going to be really useful. I'm going to get so many things from Eclectic Dumplings if I do this. So this is definitely going to be a useful but slow one. Either that or farming at Tithe Farm. So we'll see. I'm not sure which one we'll do yet. Tithe Farm will be pretty quick. So yep, let's see what we can do. Alright, so actually a bit of a change of plans. So I was told by one of my friends that a really good way to train mining would be to actually go into Guardians of the Rift and just mine the Guardian fragments for the entirety of the game. You literally just have to click one time with any pickaxe, and it's about 10k XP per hour for almost no effort. So I figured, especially since I was really struggling with Volcanic Mine, I don't have the food to last long enough in there, and I just don't really have a good way to properly train it. Mining is definitely an issue for me, so I figured if I can just go in this mini game, get 10k XP per hour, and basically do it for free while I'm AFKing, homework or whatever, then that would be really good. So yeah, I just finished this quest. There was pretty much no requirements, nothing special needed. I think I got a rune crafting level from it, but also I did get this pouch, which I'm going to drop as well, because I will get these pouches from the minigame itself if I do ever end up playing it, but for now I'm not going to be playing it legitimately. I'm just going to be playing it for mining XP. So I think actually I'm just going to AFK a bit of this minigame over the next couple days or weeks until I get 70 mining, and that should be a pretty easy second requirement. And I'm just going to get my ores from temple trekking just as before to finish up 70 smithing. So yeah, let's go get some pretty good and free mining XP. And there we go, 70 mining. Oh, I'm so glad to have this one done. This one took a couple weeks. It's only about 6k an hour because I don't have the best pickaxe. So yeah, this took about 100 hours worth of time, but it's a very nice AFK. It's about 10 to 12 minutes worth of AFK and you only got to click once. So yeah, that was super enjoyable. Definitely wasn't expecting to complete this in that way. I was expecting to do it at Volcanic Mine, but definitely not upset about avoiding that grind. So yeah, this means that I've got now my third requirement for Song of the Elves out of 8. 5 left. I'm not sure which one I'm going to work on next, but yeah, very glad to get this one done. Alright, so there we go, finally, 70 farming. That wasn't actually too bad. It took about 20 hours, I think, of Tithe Farm, which isn't the greatest, but it's actually not too bad once you optimize the process a little bit. So as you can see, the only things I bought were this can to make it a bit easier to do the game, and all of these points, I'm actually saving them up because at this point, there's been a quality of life poll that has just gone out, and it proposes actually making a lot of changes to Tithe Farm. And I was gonna wait to do Tithe Farm for this to come out, but it was just taking too long, so I decided I'm just gonna go get 70 farming. But one of the very nice things they said was they would add herb boxes to Tithe Farm. So I'm saving up my points, and hopefully they're like pretty affordable. Hopefully anything less than 10 points I think would be optimal actually for herblore training. So if it ends up being that they're cheaper than 10 points, I might actually just do all of my herblore training in Tithe Farm, just get a bunch of points. So that's why I'm stocking them up for now, just in case. But that poll actually had a lot of other really interesting things. I won't get into all of them, but Bloodbark armor would be better, and another one that I think would be really cool is combat achievements. So the point system actually makes it possible for me to complete the easy and medium combat achievement diaries just from doing tasks from like within the gauntlet, the fight caves and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that could be a really cool thing. It lets you get more points from pest control once you finish the combat achievement diary tiers. So anything that would make pest control more points, I think would be really cool. So yeah, hopefully that update comes out soon. But yeah, there we go. My fourth requirement for Song of the Elves out of the way. Really starting to accumulate these. So yeah, the only ones that are left are smithing, herblore, hunter, and construction. Smithing shouldn't be too bad at all. I just need to do some temple trekking and get a bunch of ores. Shouldn't take too long at all. Hunter, it's either going to be smithing or hunter my next one, but hunter I need to catch like 15,000 eclectic implings or something. It's going to take quite a while, and I'm going to need to do quite a few medium clues for it. And construction, I can only train as part of my hunter grind because I'll be getting a lot of plagues from those implings. And then finally herblore is just like the one that I'm planning to do last because of specific updates like this that could essentially make it easier. So I'm kind of like biding my time and hoping by the time I end up doing that I'll have found a method or that it'll be easier. But yeah, there we go. 4 out of 8 skills completed. And yeah, I'm gonna go work on the next one. So I've been doing temple trekking for the past like 25 hours. And I've finally gotten enough ores for 70 smithing. But something actually kind of funny is I was supposed to get 13,000 iron ores, and then I ran the numbers again, and it turns out I only needed 7,000. So I actually got like 5,000 extra iron ores for no reason. Yeah, so that was a bit of a waste of time. But it will get us a couple levels past 70, maybe like 74. Which would be nice for making crystal armor at some point. But yeah, got all the ores that I need for 70 smithing. So I'm gonna go to blast furnace and smelt those into bars, and then I'm gonna, not sure exactly what I'm gonna make, potentially javelin heads for more fletching XP. Temple trekking wasn't the most fun. It was interesting. I did get 2 attack levels from all of the fighting since I was doing the 3rd route, the hard one. And I also got a couple prayer levels from the ghasts. The ghasts in there, they give a bunch of prayer XP, so pretty nice overall. And yeah, 25 hours give or take. And then once I smelt those and finish that, then I'll be able to move on to the next skill. And there we go, 70 smithing has been obtained. Yeah, so I only needed to use about 7,000 of my ores for this, and now I have 5 of the 8 levels that I need for Song of the Elves. The next one that I'm going to work on, I think, is going to be Hunter. I have to catch something like 15,000 eclectic implings. Yeah, it's going to give me a lot of good supplies though, that I need for both herblore and construction. So that's why it's part of the plan. And I think I'm going to do quite a bit of medium clues from it as well, because it'll give me a chance to get spike manacles, which will be best in slot for melee for this account. But yeah, alright, so I got to make 35,000 steel javelin heads, which will be a decent amount of fletching XP. Not as much as if I had made arrowheads, but unfortunately getting feathers is really hard on this account, so I have to stick with javelins that don't require feathers. But alright, I think I'm going to move on to Hunter now. So for this next goal, I need to catch around 13,000 eclectic implings. And that should get me to 70 Hunter, but not only that, it should also get me enough planks from the oak planks from the implings to get 70 construction, and it should also get me about 2,500 secondaries for herblore in the form of snake grass and limpet roots. So what I'm actually going to do, I have around 500 impling jars in my bank. I think I'm just going to run from Piro to the bank and just keep filling it up, and I'm going to try to open them all up at the bank so that way I'm not missing out on the loot from the implings. And in that way I'm also going to do all of the medium clues that I get, at least until I get spike manacles, because I think that would be useful to get in the long run. I'm also going to probably try to catch nature impling for seeds and like more herblore stuff, but potentially also essence implings to be able to buy the jar generators. So yeah, this is going to take a really long time, but it should be pretty fun, and along the way I'll show you guys any medium clues that I get. So it turns out that I had a lot more jars than I thought So I managed to catch 800 eclectic implings, and also caught a couple more essence and nature implings. I'm gonna keep stacking up the nature implings so that hopefully after this grind we can get a few hard clues and try to get that magic short bow once again. But yeah, so these are all the jars that I had. This is actually a lot slower than I thought. I'm gonna need to get around 13,000 implings to get this level, and this took about 5, maybe 6 hours. So if I have to do this like 14 more times, it's going to take a while. The banking process is the main thing that takes a while. It'd be a lot faster if I could just open them in there and then keep catching. But it's going to take even longer than that because now I'm going to open all of these and do all of the medium clues that I get from it. So once I'm done going through the stack, I'll show you guys all of the caskets that I got. It's going to be quite a few caskets. I think if I go on right here, this is going to be like 30 something caskets, assuming I can complete all of them, of course. So yeah, probably 20-25 caskets in the end. So that should be a fun little opening. But alright, I'm going to start working on these clues. So I just got this clue to play this song, which needs to be unlocked in the Ardoin rat pits. And I can actually get this song. I don't have it right now, but I can get it. It's part of the rat catcher's quest, which I haven't started, but I have all the requirements to do it. And it is actually allowed to do because rat pits are a mini game, so all of the rat pits in the game are mini games. So rat pits are a mini game. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know if I'll do the whole quest because the quest kind of sucks. I'm not sure if you can do them all in order or not, but I'll try to just do the Ardoin one and get access to that, and then hopefully we can go on with the clue. I will say I thought I was gonna be able to complete like 25 out of the 30 or so medium clues that I was supposed to get, but I guess I forgot how many clue steps I can't do because I've easily dropped more than half of them so far. But anyway, this should still be a fun opening. But yeah, alright, I'll go do red catchers. Alright, so it's a little bit better than I expected. I ended up getting 23 clues from the 800, which is a little bit less than I was expecting. I think on average I should have gotten 32. I got really unlucky with some of the implings. I got sometimes it took more than 100 implings to get a clue, but it happens. RNG happens. But out of those 23, I managed to complete 14 caskets, which is pretty decent. So let's just open them up and see what we get. The main thing that I'm looking for right now is spiked manacles, but any of the prayer cloaks would be nice. Ooh, a master clue. Let's just double check that. Legends quest. Yeah, no, I won't be able to do that. I'll just drop that. Right, some god pages. Oh, nice. That's a nice log slot. Wow, I'm getting a lot of collection log items. Nothing too crazy though. Okay, let's make a bit of room. I think that's my first Crozier, which would be my best in slot prayer main hand if I ever was to use that, maybe for like Volcanic Mine. Oh, nice. I got the cloak. Alright, so that's my best in slot prayer cape for now. The only thing I would need now is the spiked manacles. Alright, so that was a pretty good haul of clues. I have, I believe, 700 impling jars, and I'm going to trade in, I think, a couple implings to get a jar generator and get a few more jars. But yeah, I'm going to go back in, get some more implings, and then do some more clues. So I figured I would give you guys a little look at how I'm actually catching these implings. So right now I'm in the south spawn, where the eclectic impling spawns, and basically I've got my two accounts here blocking the impling so that, because implings try to go either south or east away from you when you miss them. So here, every time I miss this impling, he tries to go south or east, and he can't because my accounts are there. So it just keeps the impling there, and means I don't really have to move around, which is very, very nice. And also what I'm doing is I'm making use of interfaces because when you catch an impling, like the tick after you actually catch it, you're still like hunting the impling with your action. So if you put up an interface before that happens, then you're preserving that action of hunting. And then if you break that interface one tick before the impling spawns, then you can instantly catch it. And like you see there, if the impling does end up getting away from me, then I just have the Dark Lure spell on my main to lure over the impling. So it's a pretty consistent way of getting the implings. I'm getting pretty decent rates, maybe about 250 implings per hour. And the only real way that the implings can get away is if I miss them or if they try to wander in the first tick, which is like a 1 in 32 chance or something, because of the way that I'm blocking them. Especially if I make use of the this interface method to catch them in the first tick, it gives them a lot less chance to wander around. So yeah, pretty comfortable method, to be honest. The hardest part, or the slowest part rather, is probably that I have to keep walking back and forth to the bank every time I fill my inventory. Also doing the clues, which I'm not actually sure if I'm going to keep doing the clues. I was running some numbers, and I'm not sure if the manacles are actually going to be worth it, but I'm still not decided on that yet, so we'll see about that one. So for this next clue step that I have to talk to this NPC in Taibawanai village, and turns out to actually be able to see him, you need to do the jungle potion quest, which I haven't done yet, but it is a quest that I will need to do eventually to gain access to the minigame Trouble Brewing from Cabin Fever. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this quest. It's not a very long one, and then hopefully we can move on with this clue. So as much as I don't want to sidetrack this hunter grind, I just got a medium clue, and I'm on the final step, the 5th step, and I need to get an adamant sword and an adamant plate skirt. The only possible way to get these is from Shades of Morton, at least for me. And the sword is actually not too bad. I think I even have enough ore in the bank to just smith it, but the plate skirt is like level 86 smithing, and really the only way I can get it is from silver keys from Shades of Morton. If I want to be able to access silver keys, I need to get 65 fire making. I've been wanting to get this for a while because there's a lot of cool things that I can get from silver keys. There's just a lot of clue items that are hard to get, like adamant and rune. It's possible to get a rune scimitar, which would actually be better than my dragon dagger, surprisingly. There's also the bloodbark scrolls, which would be really cool because the bloodbark's getting buffed soon, and I think the top will actually be best in slot for me for magic, so I do want to get that eventually. The amulet of the damned I can get, which is also essentially a free amulet of glory without needing to get 80 crafting. Yeah, there's just a lot of cool things. Also some new logs, which are nice. But yeah, I think this is a grind that I do want to do. It shouldn't take too long. 7 fire making levels. It's going to be a lot less long than than the 70 woodcutting was anyways. So I think this means I'm going to be going back to Shades of Morton, or and also back to temple trekking to get the 65 fire making. And it's probably going to be a decently long grind, but I think it's worth it, not just for the clue, but for everything else that it brings along the way. But I was about halfway through my caskets, so I got 9 out of the first maybe 200 and so implings, but because I won't be opening these for a while, and I won't be doing clues for a while, I think let's just open these right now and see what we get. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm going to be heading to Shades of Morton to start the next grind. So I think that's a pretty good spot to end the video. It's getting kind of long, and I do think that this Shades of Morton detour is going to take quite a while. So this is a good breaking point, I think. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was definitely fun to play, and I'm definitely excited to see what comes next for this account. So with all that out of the way, Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.